Welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we are doing another Lord of the Rings draft. Let's go ahead and open up our first pack here. This is a good one. We've got Minas Tirith is our rare, which is a great card, but not what we really want to be first picking here. You can tap it and pay 2 to draw a card if 2 or more creatures attack this turn. We've also got Stern Scalding, which I like in blue. There's Golem's Bite, which is really solid. It's just cheap, efficient removal, and then you can exile it to have the ring tempt you. Bilbo is great in blue-red and probably the best card of the pack, but we're not taking a double-coloured card. Then we have Claim the Precious, which is just a kill-all common removal spell. But I think Golem's Bite is better than Claim the Precious just due to the efficiency, and I'm pretty happy to pick up a black card first pick here. Passing some good stuff in white, blue-red, and black, but certainly not the biggest signal pack 1, so just happy to pick up a cheap, efficient removal spell here. Now looking at pack 2, we have a Faramir Field Commander. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So Faramir is really strong. Very good in black-white, I think, which has a bit of a sacrifice recursion theme. And then there's also Saruman's Trickery, which I really do like as well. 1 blue for an instant counter-target spell, amass Orcs 1. So I think the pick comes down to these two. I think Fire Inscription's a cool card if you want to go into black-red. I think Faramir is quite good. It's probably going to be the pick here. Although Saruman's Trickery is really nice as well. I think here, just given that we've started with a black card, I think Faramir is going to be quite good to combine in black-white and have a lot of creatures to be able to sacrifice. So I'm happy to pick it up there. And now to go along with it, we're going to have Samwise the Stout-Hearted here. So 1 white for a 2/1 flash legend. When it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there this turn, return it to your hand, then the ring tempts you. So Samwise is great in the sacrifice deck because you can sacrifice something and then instantly get it back. It's a legend. It protects your creatures from removal. Super happy to pick that one up there after picking up a Faramir. And now we're going to get to take another Faramir. Don't love taking multiple legends at the same, but 2 is fine. You don't really want to play a third. But yeah, this card seems really good. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, and whenever the ring tempts you, you can just make more creature tokens. So Faramir is a sweet card. The flavour is really nice as well, and happy to pick that one up there. Now there's a Butterbeer Bree Innkeeper, which creates food tokens, but that doesn't really go with what we want to be doing. And Errand Rider of Gondor looks exactly what we want to be doing. This one, 2 and a white for a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. If you don't control a legendary creature, you then put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. So worst case, it's a looter. But best case, when you've got some legends, this bad boy just draws you a card. And so, with our 3 legends already, we're going to be pretty confident that that's something that we're going to be able to do. And we're happy to pick that one up there. Now, there's a Woe's Pathfinder, but I don't really want it to go into green with this start. I think this looks more like a grindy control build of black-white, and certainly nothing has signaled to me that green's particularly open. I think it's probably the worst card in the set as well. Bilbo Retired Burglar doesn't go with what we're doing, but I think I'm happy to take an Eagles of the North here. Plane Cycling for 1. It also helps you just alpha with giving everyone first strike when it comes in, and there's a card I'm happy to pick up there. Now there's an interesting pick here. There's some good blue cards here in Glorious Gale, Birthday Escape. There's a Tale of Tinuville, which gives legendary, and it's just like a very slow Unburial Rites. Not super interested in this one. Council's Deliberation is also fine, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Glorious Gale here. I think I like this as one of the better blue commons. We're certainly happy to pick it up now and just, flex into whether this is where we're going to end up. Now there's a Rise of the Witch King, which I think is quite good in green-black. You've got a lot of stuff to sacrifice to it. There's Banish from Edoras, which is just exile target creature. It can pay 2 to exile a tapped creature. And there's Lorien Revealed as well as an Island Cycler. I think I'm just going to take the Banished here. Just playing one of these is fine as a 5-mana catch-all removal spell. And then sometimes you're going to be able to cast it for 3 to deal with that threat, which is quite nice. And we don't have any removal. Like, we have Glorious Gale and Golem's Bite, but we're not locked into those colours. Wow, so Bilbo came all the way around on the wheel here. Don't love any of these cards. See the Messenger's fine. I think I'm just going to take Wizard's Rockets here. I don't really think it's super playable, but just in case we end up in a more multicolored deck, the Artifact, you can draw a card with it if you can find ways to recur it, which I don't know if there are many ways to recur it, but can fix your mana, gets your card back. I'm not really thinking we're going to be playing it, but happy to pick it up there. Now I've got to pick between another Rocket, Hythland Knots, and Willow Wind. I think I'm going to take the Knots here. I think if we do end up in blue-white, there's the theme of drawing 2 cards a turn. Now I've got to pick between Haunt of the Dead Marshes and the Isolation at Orthanc. Isolation's fine, but I think I'm just going to take the Haunt and just hedge a little bit here, because Haunt is very good with Faramir, because you can just recur these to keep drawing cards, and the 4-drop slot's gets pretty full pretty quickly, I think, in most formats these days, but I certainly think that this one's going to be no different. So now there's a Slip on the Ring, which can exile and return creatures, which looks okay. There's a Ring Sight, which I don't think is really that playable. I think, we just take Ring Sight. I don't think we're playing any of those cards really, but we'll sort of see where we end up. We're pretty solidly white at this point. Would love to, I think white-black would be good. Cirith Ungol Patrol is actually one of the things we're looking for here, which is the sacrifice outlet for Faramir. So if you have Faramir, Haunt of the Dead Marshes, and Cirith Ungol Patrol, you can just keep sacking Haunt, recurring it, drawing 2 cards, creating food tokens, and just generating a lot of value, which is what the white-black deck, I think, wants to be doing. So these blue cards here are just not locking us into blue at all here. Soothing of Smeagol is more of a blue-red card, I think. Not really what we're looking for. So now I've got an interesting pick. There's a Balrog Durin's Bane, which is, I think, very strong. But we're not in red. There's the Saruman's Trickery, which obviously I really like, but it's double blue. And then there's a Dunland Crebain and some other, I think Mirkwood Bats is quite good in the sacrifice theme, but Dunland Crebain is just so strong. And I have a feeling that black is probably going to be open this pack. And if we end up in black-white, that's where the recursion is best placed to take advantage of Faramir. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Dunland Crebain here. It's a really nice one to just pick up there. And now we're going to go ahead and, I think, pretty much solidify ourselves here in black-white. Shadow Summoning is just super efficient. For 2 mana, you get 2 1/1 Flying Spirit creature tokens. They come into play tapped, but that doesn't really matter. It's just such an efficient card, and really one we're happy to pick up here. There is a Eomer of the Riddermark, which is a good one. 5 mana for a 5/4 haste, and if you attack with it and control creature with the greatest power, you get a 1/1 human. So that is a nice one, but not what we're looking for us. And now, interesting pick here. Nothing really in black. Don't love any of these white cards here. Falling on the Barrow Down. Enchanted creature is a spirit and can't attack or block. There's a lot of sacrifice. Doesn't get rid of abilities as well, which is super relevant, I think, in this format. There's a lot of stuff that taps. A lot of stuff that sacrifices. I don't think this card's particularly good. I think I'm actually going to take Saruman the White here. It's definitely the strongest card in the pack. Ward 2, and then whenever you cast your second spell on a turn, you amass Orcs 2. We could pick up some fixing and potentially play it here. We don't have and we do have a lot of ways to draw extra cards with Faramir and Sirith here. So happy to pick that one up here. And now it really looks like blue is far more open than black. And we didn't see a lot of black in pack 1, so I think we just need to be flexible here. And Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, is a great one. Flash, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. And whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Gandalf of the Shire as your ring bearer, draw a card. So between Gandalf and Faramir, there's a lot of value here for having the ring tempt you and not choosing those cards as your ring bearers. And so they go well in combination. So I'm going to pick that one up here. And we're just seeing no black. So probably at this point, we're looking more blue-white, to be honest. We have very little removal. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do there. But going to get another Eren Rider of Gondor here. And given all of our legends, we've got Samwise, 2 Faramirs, Gandalf, Saruman, and a couple of ways for rings to tempt us here in Glorious Gale, Samwise, the Stout-Hearted as well. We'll certainly be looking to pick more of those up. We've got Saruman the White, number 2, but Prince Imrahil the Fair. Looks like blue is really flowing this pack. 2/2 Legend for 2, which is great. Whenever you draw a second card this turn, create a 1/1 human creature token. So it goes fantastically with Faramir. Gonna have to look for some kind of sacrifice outlet, which I don't really think exists that well in white. But even if we're just attacking with a bunch of little 1/1s, they're going to potentially have to block, and we might be able to just trigger Faramir that way. So creatures do die on your turn, and if we can have an aggressive enough start, we're going to be able to do that. So I also really like how Gandalf works with Samwise the Stout-Hearted, and you can hold up multiple flash cards at once. Now we're going to go ahead and pick up an Ithilien Kingfisher here. 2/1 flyer for 3, and when it dies you draw a card. Works well with Prince Imrahil, works well with Faramir in that you're incentivized to trade it off. Also works well with Samwise in that you can recur the body for additional value. So I think we can pretty safely go ahead and exit out of these black cards. Don't think any of them are really worth playing. Now I've got to pick between Ioreth, which is fine. Now for Wrath, now for Ruin, which I don't think we really want to be playing. And then there's a Greyhaven's Navigator. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick the Navigator. I'm interested to see how this one plays out. And now I'm really happy I did that because Saruman's Trickery plays very well with it. Having the ability to hold up flash creatures and counterspells at the same time is just so strong. We've got 3. Samwise, Greyhaven's Navigator, and Gandalf. So we can actually just pass the turn, see if we want to counter something, and then play a flash creature. So, and Saruman's Trickery is just straight up 2 for 1, and you get a 1/1 body, and you get the to counter the spell as well. So, going to take another Banish here. If we don't pick up any other removal spells, I think we will play 2 of them. Just to catch all, there are some powerful creatures and spells in this format, so just need to have the removal spells. Additionally, if your opponent has a lot of a lot of amass, then you will want ways to just deal with the huge armies. Wow, so we're actually going to take Glorious Gale number 2 over the Kingfisher because Glorious Gale has the ring tempts you, and that's really important in our deck at the moment with Faramir, Gandalf, Friend of the Shire as well. So and with all our little 1/1s as well, we're going to have ways to have really good ring bearers to pick the ring up and hopefully get in. And we'll be looking to try and come up with some other spells. The Birthday Party one, the 1 mana, draw a card, ring tempts you, looks really good in this deck. So, because it triggers Saruman, it triggers the ring tempts you, helps with Prince Imrahil and drawing 2 cards. So, definitely a good one in this deck. This is a bit of a disappointing pack here. Eastmark Cavalier, 2/2 Vigilance, not really that what we're looking for. Another legendary land in Mines of Moria, but we're going to go ahead and pick up another Saruman here. Got to get some cheap creatures in order to enable Saruman, but just a 5 mana 4/4 Ward 2 with that little bit of upside is what we're looking for. And now there's a Call of the Ring, which is a very nice one. The ring at the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life, and if you do, draw a card. But not one we're looking to splash. I think the one we will be taking here is Esquire of the King, a 1 mana 1/1. If you control a legendary creature, you can pay 3 mana to do its ability, otherwise you pay 5. And then it gives creatures you control +1/+1 until end of turn. Nothing else really for us in that pack, so just going to go ahead and pick that one up there. Now I've got Stalwarts of Osgiliath, a 5 mana 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Perfect. Then whenever you draw your second card each turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So we're going to pick that one up. Probably actually going to cut the second Saruman there, just for curve purposes, I think. And now we get a really good one in Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. Vigilance 2/2 with Ward 1. You can tap it. Another target creature you control gains protection from the card type of your turn, of your choice, until end of turn. So fantastic one for us there. Really happy to pick that one up. And now there's a Frodo Baggins, which is a card I was destroyed within a recent draft. And then there's just the third Glorious Gale, which I think we need with our Faramir's, Gandalf's, for the ring tempts us, and also to ensure we have legendaries and ways to recur it. So we're happy to pick that one up there. Now there's another Esquire, or there's an Eagles of the North. I don't think we want two really of either of these, but Eagles of the North is a flying 3/3. Does pump the team. So does Esquire. They do very similar things. I think I'm just going to take the second Eagles to allow us to play 16 land here, if we can get enough playables. Having one land cycler is not the... Like, you don't really want to drop a land, but having two, I'm happy to drop one land and have them, and that's sort of the best of both worlds. Now we get a Rosy Cotton of the South Lane. Whenever you create a creature token, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosie. When it enters the battlefield, you create a food token. So Rosie is sweet because we've got a lot of ways to create tokens here. We've got Faramir, Prince Imrahil, a couple of other little ways to do it. So I think Rosie will be pretty good in this deck. And now I think we take another Stalwarts of Osgiliath to take advantage of all our card draw, and the ring. Fire Inscription there is a nice one, but not what we're looking to do. I think this looks like it'll be the deck. We've got 4 counter spells. We've got a couple of flash creatures as well, which is really nice. Can take an Irith of the House. Not loving that. Can take a Captain of Umbar. I think Captain's going to be the pick here. I think potentially we play it over the third Glorious Gale. Hythla Knots as well. Probably going to be the pick here. The Scry, the tapping. We just want to have cheap cards. Knights of Dol Amorith. So I think this looks like it's going to be the deck. I think we potentially want to cut the Grey Havens Navigator. Doesn't synergize with much else of what we're doing. We can cut a Plains as well. So that's 40. The question will be, do we want 2 of these? We've got 4 counter spells. So I think we probably do want to cut one of these. And probably bring in... We've got Captain of Umbar here. So we're looking to bring potentially the Hythla Knots, which will help with drawing 2 cards. It'll also help get through, cast 2 spells. Or we can just play the additional Glorious Gale. And I think actually it's going to be the Gale, given we've got double Faramir and Gandalf. We just want to have more creatures on the battlefield that can have the ring tempts us to enable their abilities. That's going to be it for the deck building. I'll see if... Alrighty, here we go for game number 1. We have a Rosy Cotton, Stalwarts, Saruman and Prince Imrahil here. The problem with this hand is we don't have the blue source for Prince Imrahil, and Rosie can't put a counter on itself. So we're going to be in the situation where I think we could potentially not cast anything for the first few turns, and I think it's better to just mulligan here. And pretty happy with that. We're going to go ahead and keep this hand here. Rosie's going to be good with Faramir. I think Glorious Gale's worth keeping as well. So let's go ahead and just put Hithlin Knots on the bottom, and we'll hold Glorious Gale up on turn 2. We can decide whether or not we want to cast it. Saruman's also a nice one to curve into. So now we can just pass the turn and then hold up Glorious Gale and plane cycle this on our end step to get Faramir. So this has worked out pretty perfectly for us. It's ideal that we get to Glorious Gale after we cast Faramir, so we can play Rosie, pump this, and then Glorious Gale on our opponent's turn. Let's look at the planes. Opponent hasn't cast anything, which is a bit strange, but we'll go ahead and just run out Faramir here. There's a very high chance they just have their own Glorious Gale, but they don't. They could also just have a removal spell here on their turn. So Knights of Dol Amroth. But we can just... So we could cast Glorious Gale, or we could just play Rosie to put a +1/+1 counter here. It's also going to start the chain. I think it's a little bit better. Ideally, we would have 2 blue sources, and we could tap, draw a card, and scry 1. But just going to go again, get Rosie out. Rosie's also a much better ring bearer than Faramir, so we're going to be able to hold Glorious Gale next turn, or just cast Stalwarts of Osgiliath if we happen to hit a land this turn, because then we have the ring tempts Rosie, we make a 1/1, we +1 a counter. Opponent has played Lorien Revealed, so they've drawn 3, so opponent has a ton of cards in hand. I've discarded 1 of them, so now it is a bit awkward because we could tap here, but I think we just want to bash in with the team and hold up Glorious Gale. We can also just Hithlin Knots on their end step, and we can sacrifice our food. It's also, they're at 6 mana. There's a high chance that they cast an expensive spell here. So Troll of Khazad-dûm that is not happening. So now, it's only if it was a legendary spell. Read the card. Early on in the format, it is always very tempting to just not fully read the card there, but definitely something we should be doing. So we can just cycle this one for a plains. I think we want to hold Glorious Gale again here. We're winning this race currently, and if the ring tempts us at all, then we just... we can, as long as I only have 1... So Mortal Muster here, we'll go ahead and let that resolve. Draw a card. Golem the Patient Plotter. Not really much utility in countering that one, so we'll go ahead and let that one come through. And now Ring Sight. The ring tempts us. They search. They're probably going to make their Knights the Ring Bearer, and we're going to get to tap that down now. Got Mouth of Sauron, which is a legendary creature, so that's good. So we can tap this one down now. We get to scry. Another Glorious Gale is not what we're looking for right now. We really want to hit a land. Gandalf is a good one, and Island is a fantastic one. So now we can go ahead and attack with... If we attack with Faramir, they do get to double block here, and that's not good. So let's just go ahead and ship the turn here. We can play Gandalf and then play Glorious Gale to counter the Mouth of Sauron here. And then the ring will tempt Rosie, we'll draw a card, and we'll finally make a 1/1 put a +1/+1 counter on Faramir. Maybe a fair bit of pressure on the opponent. So opponent's got to think about what they do here because they know that we know. So we can go ahead and cast Gandalf here. The ring isn't going to tempt us, but we still want to just counter the troll. Probably should have waited till end step to cast Gandalf there, but... So they're going to have the ring tempt them again to get to draw, but that is just cycling there. So now we can have the ring tempt us here. And I think that's what we're going to want to do. Cast Stalwarts of Osgiliath. Rosie Cotton is going to become our ring bearer. So we draw a card. We get to put a 1/1 counter on a creature. I think we're going to want to put it on... Stalwarts of Osgiliath would be good with the ring. Faramir also would be nice as a 5/5. We can start boosting it up. I think, yeah, we just want to put it on Faramir. Get another 1/1 here. Don't really have any great attacks because Rosie... So we can go ahead and ship the turn. If we can get the ring to tempt us again, we can put it on this and have a 2/2, which they have to block with the 1/1. But next turn, they have to have 2 creatures down, which they're going to get... I mean, the Mouth of Sauron is actually going to amass the army here and make it quite a big army. It's got Lorien revealed again. So the opponent's deck's sweet. This is the decks that I'm keen to draft something like this in blue-black with Lorien's revealed. And so now they've got the 4/4, but that means we can get in. So can we just win the game here? If we can get 2... So we can cast Saruman the White. Glorious Gale would have been really good here. Let's just go ahead and draw a card to start with. We also are going to go wide here. I'm going to draw our second card. Ithilien Kingfisher is actually a very nice one here. The 6/5 is going to attack quite well. This is then going to get through in the air. Rosie can get through also. I think we're happy to trade our 6/5 for that ring bearer here. So let's go ahead and attack with Rosie. And actually, I think we'll just hold back Stalwarts of Osgiliath because it can get bigger. And Ithilien Kingfisher and Rosie are going to present a pretty quick clock on our opponent here. The awkward part about the Mouth of Sauron is it's only going to give them 1 additional body. So they're only going to have, if they cast that and they don't have another creature, they'll only have 1 creature spell, and it's possible we can just bash in. So Lash of the Balrog first up on Rosie. The ring tempts them. They've got their own knights, and now they're going to cast presumably the Mouth of Sauron here for 4 bodies. So they can block 4 of our creatures. But they don't have any way to deal with our Kingfisher here. We do have pretty decent blocks, so they're drawing a bunch of cards. I think we can afford to just chump here and not take 7. So now we can put them to 2. We can just exile the army as well, which seems pretty good. Or we can actually just exile that 7/7 here and swing. That seems a little bit better. If we do this, yeah, that's just game. We have enough creatures to get through. I think it was just game anyway if we attacked, but this just wraps it up here. They're not going to have the blockers they need. We managed to get the win through a pretty sweet blue-black deck there, and I'll see you for game number 2. Alrighty, game number 2 here with a much, much better hand here. Going to go ahead and keep this one. We've got Faramir, Prince Imrahil Affair, Errant Rider Gondor, Rosie Cotton here, so lots of nice little ways to chain off, but probably going to start with Imrahil. Or we could go Pippin, Guard of the Citadel to start things off. So what's better? I think actually just getting Prince Imrahil down. If they can't deal with this, the Errand Rider of Gondor is just going to be a 3-2 draw a card, make a 1-1 on turn 3. And then we can play these two the next turn as well. So 3-1's not going to be great here. We just get to go Errand Rider of Gondor, draw a card, make a 1-1. Drawing land there's fantastic. No attacks from us. And then next turn we can play Pippin and hold up Samwise and Glorious Gale. So they can make a food. It would also be good to just get Rosie down, but I think Rosie's going to be pretty good no matter what here. No blocks from us. Let's go ahead and cast an attack first with Errand Rider of Gondor. Because we can actually choose to just do Samwise now. And I think that's actually going to be pretty nice to go Samwise, picking up Errand Rider of Gondor, and then making our 1-1 the Ring Bearer. Yeah, now we can just say go and hold up Glorious Gale because, yeah, this is nice because now we can go. Oh, so Hobbit Sting takes down the Imrahil. So maybe it was better to actually Samwise the Imrahil at some point. I think we can actually just trade here. I'm happy to trade my 1-1, even though it's the Ring Bearer for that 3-1. So they have no follow-ups there. So we can create a food token. Can draw a card. Lots of options here. We do want to get Pippin down. But Glorious Gale, I think, is going to be pretty nice to... Let's just go ahead and... I think let's... It is really interesting what we want to do here. Let's see what we draw with Errand Rider of Gondor. The reason for this is... we want to make sure it happens before combat so that we can draw the card. Now we'll go ahead and attack. And I think, to be honest, it's better to just Glorious Gale. There's a chance they play a Legendary and we can Ring Bearer again, but we're ahead enough on board that it's going to be a big enough tempo swing if they go for a 5 drop there. They should have sacrificed that food as well, I think. Mirkwood Spider, not one I'm too concerned about. Errand Rider of Gondor. Happy to Glorious Gale to take that one down. Not let them filter. Not let them get a 3-2 in play. And so now we're just going to go ahead and... I think we just want to attack first. Play down Pippin and Rosie next. I think one of the mistakes here was Samwising back to get Errand Rider of Gondor. I think we should have left that for the Imrahil because Imrahil is just the absolute engine that makes this deck tick. So, wow, so opponent not blocking there. That's fantastic for us because now Pippin just ruins that for the opponent. So we get a food. Let's make Samwise the Stout-Hearted a 3-2. And let's slam down our little Pippin. The Halflings are coming in here. We've got Pippin, Rosie, and Samwise on the battlefield with an Errand Rider of Gondor. Opponent's probably going to have it. Yeah, here's a 3-3 flyer. But I mean, on this board, it's not actually amazing. So opponent attacking here, don't think is particularly great. No blocks from us. And we can... This gives another target creature you control protection. So we can just bash in with the 2/3/3s here. Hold Rosie back to trade with the Death Touch if they decide to attack again. If they block here, we can just kill it. So they can't really block. And then just play out a land. We're going to sack the food. So a 2/2. It's actually a little bit annoying on this board because, yeah, they can trade now. Like they can double block and trade one for the other. But it's still, we're still 2 for 1 in them at that point. Because we trade one creature for both of our creatures effectively. We'll go ahead and attack in with Rosie as well this turn. Actually, no, we won't, because then they can 2/2 and they can Death Touch, and it's better to just attack with both of these, I think, and clear the board. Get Captain of Umbar down. So opponent's thinking heavily here. They've still got one card in hand, so they can still have something, but Captain of Umbar is a fantastic draw to give us additional draw steps. We're going to get in here. Who do we want to live? Let's give Samwise protection from creatures. I'm going to sack that food. Wow, Pippin is a busted card. Pippin's really good. Like, being able to effectively blank your creatures, blank their removal. Opponent can't attack here. I mean, they are. Watchdogs. It's actually interesting because we're in a little bit of a race here, but I think we just want to... Yeah, we want to just attack with Captain of Umbar here. And if they want to block Rosie and let 5 damage through, I'm happy with that. It puts them on a 1-turn clock. Rosie can have protection from creatures. It's a little bit awkward because we don't get to play any spells, but I think it does set us up potentially for the win next turn and forces them to hold back blockers anyway. Opponent's seen the writing on the wall. 2-0 so far, and I'll see you for game number 3. Alrighty, game number 3 here. Opponent goes first. We're on the draw. This hand's going to be a keep with the Squire of the King and Errand Rider of Gondor. We've got enough early plays here that an Errand Rider of Gondor can, at worst, be a 3-2 loot. So that's going to be enough for us to just keep this hand here. I think we will go ahead and just cycle this. I think we can hold this 1 turn. I don't think we need to do it. So, Horn of Gondor is just one of the most busted cards in this set. Very, very difficult to deal with. They're just going to get to pay 3 mana every single turn now, and double the number of 1/1s they have. So we'll offer the trade here. They don't have any humans, so Protector of Gondor is a really good one with. Now we get absolutely max punish for not cycling here because we would have been able to cast Faramir. Go ahead and attack, but they're not going to trade here, I don't think. They're going to start doubling their 1/1s. We're going to have a very difficult time winning this game now. Horn of Gondor just completely takes over the game. I'll play it out a little bit to show you, but now effectively, if they have another human wet, it's going to be absolutely busted, but they can just bash us, and then at end step, they'll Horn of Gondor us. So it's certainly not good. Let's just go ahead and attack. They can trade their Horn of Gondor activation for our Aaron Ryder here. But I think they're actually better off not doing it, yeah. We'll say go. And then we can have Gandalf come down. It's not particularly great. But see, yeah, now they get 4 1/1s from Horn of Gondor, and it just keeps going and going and going. I think it's probably one of the better cards to open in the set. Yeah, so that's probably going to do it now. I mean, opponent's going to have 8 humans on the battlefield, all off just effectively a 2-card combo. So, yeah, we'll show them our nice little Faramir. We'll hit them with the good game. But that's going to do it for this one, and I'll see you for game number 4. Alrighty, back again to try and bounce back for a win here. This hand's a keeper for sure. Banish from Adoris. We've got Glorious Gale and Samwise here. So we can start off by just holding up these Glorious Gales. Prevent our opponent from casting anything. And then hopefully we'll play. Yeah, so goodbye, Grima Wormtongue. Ideally we would have a creature to tempt, but not the end of the world here. There's now another Glorious Gale. So we've got the triple Glorious Gale here. We'll be able to counter everything to our heart's content, even if we don't draw. Oh, so that is one way to get around our good old little friend. They get a lot worse when they know about them as well, but Torment of Golem being a 2/2 creature that gets to steal a card from us is just fantastic. I think they should probably take Faramir or Samwise, maybe? There's a lot of removal in Black-Red, so I assume they have removal in their hand, and maybe getting rid of Samwise also restricts us from the flexibility of holding up a counterspell with another creature as well. So pretty awkward draw here. Another banish from Idris. Land would have been great because we could have just played Faramir, then hold up Gale and Samwise. But not to be, and we would trade. Well, we couldn't trade it on our turn. Certainly not out of this game yet, but wow. Torment of Golem, just one of the better cards against us in that spot there. So we'll just take the damage here. We don't want to give them the option to drop a 5-drop on us by trading Samwise. Does not seem worth it. We actually... Yeah, we should have played Samwise the turn they made us discard. That's my bad, actually. Still getting used to all the new interactions. Yeah, we won't play Samwise now, but I'm going to go ahead and... I think we can just ship the turn again. It's very likely they just have removal here. And so, by playing Faramir, we're just enabling that removal. And we can afford to wait here. So we could play Samwise down. But I think we just want to hold here. Because now we can banish this 2/2 to remove that clock and hold up Glorious Gale here. So then next turn we can play Faramir and hold up Samwise with Glorious Gale as well. So clearly got something they really want to cast here. So I'm not inclined to let them just cast it. I mean, they're just passing the turn back, it looks like. I think at some point you just have to bite the bullet that your opponent is going to counter what you play. Although we don't have any pressure on them at the moment. But they know that once we hit a land, we're slamming Faramir. So I think their plan is probably let us play Faramir, then they'll remove it. We'll Samwise, and then that's their window to play something into a counter. So it may actually be better to just play Samwise for pressure. It would have been better to play Samwise to get back Saruman. That would have been much, much better. But opponent's really in the tank here, thinking about what they're doing. They're going to play a land. Grishnak. So mass 2. Yeah, I'm not about Grishnak coming down. Don't want them having 2 bodies. Happy to get a ring Tempest trigger there as well. We get the land. So now we've got Rosie. Rosie coming down, even just as a 1/1 with Faramir is going to be really nice. So let's go ahead and just get Rosie down, because also if we Gloria Scale something now, Rosie's a fantastic ring bearer, which is something we want. Mordor Trebuchet. Happy to let that one resolve, to be honest. Don't really care about this unless they get another Orc down. So we could just go ahead and say go. Now we can just play Ithilien Kingfisher, ship the turn again, hold up Gloria Scale and Samwise. We're really just waiting for them to play. Like, they've clearly got some big creature they're trying to bait us into galing. And our removal spells are pretty awkward now as well, because we can wait till end step to cast Samwise. So we don't have to do it in a response. We can just wait to see if they've played a creature. And we're really just waiting for land to hit Faramir. Opponent is in the tank. So yeah, I think they've got something massive. Like, I don't know what it is exactly. There's a lot of pretty powerful black creatures at the top end of the curve. Voracious Fellbeast, there's the Ring Wraiths rare. They could have Balrog, Durin's Bane. So there's a ton of stuff they could have that's problematic for us. Relentless Rohirrim, it's not a huge issue. The Ring will tempt. It's a Human Knight. I think I'm happy to just Gale this one. We still have a Banish from Edoras in hand to deal with another creature. And it does mean we're going to be able to get Faramir down. So now they've got another Grishnak, which is what they wanted to get down, but it doesn't do a whole lot here. They get to hit us for 2 in the air. We get to play Faramir. So I think here we could play Errant Rider of Gondor and draw a card, or we can just get Faramir down. I think Faramir is going to be better on this board. Although, no, actually, I think we want to hold Samwise. Yeah, we want to wait till we have a land to get Faramir down. So now we can do this next turn. We can get it in the air here. Errant Rider of Gondor is going to be decent on this board. We can sack our food token. And Samwise now offers us protection for Errant Rider. Oath of the Grey Host from the opponent. That's a nice one. We get to put a +1/+1 counter on our flyer. Got 2 food as well. Samwise is also fantastic with Ithilien Kingfisher. So I think here we can actually just go ahead and trade. No, I think we want to do that next turn. I think we'll take this 1 hit, because we want to do it when we have Faramir down so that we can block and then get it back, have the ring tempt us to get another 1/1, trigger Rosie, and start making a huge flyer. So let's go ahead and sack this food, get ourselves some life, and now I think we can start the little combo here. Oh, Prince Imrahil the Fair, but I think we just want to get stick Faramir first, and then get in with Ithilien Kingfisher. Say go. Opponent's going to sack that food. Now we can block this 2/2 pretty nicely. Samwise, I think, is just going to come down. We lose 3 life. Samwise is probably going to come down to get the ring to tempt us, because then it makes a 1/1. We trigger Rosie. We can beef up our flyer. Yeah, and we can... Yeah, so now we're going to take 2 here, but can block with Aaron Rider of Gondor. This is perfect for us. They exile that. And we get to make Ithilien Kingfisher our ring bearer, which is going to get us to draw cards. Orcish Bowmasters. Wow, okay. So the Orc... Yes, they get to deal 1. Man, Orcish Bowmasters is such a strong card. It's extreme how good it is. Because they get to do it the turn it comes down, and then if we start drawing additional cards, we just basically lose to that thing. So let's go ahead and get Rosie back. Ithilien Kingfish is going to be our ring bearer. We get a 1/1. We'll draw. Counter target spell is nice. I think we just need to exile this Orcish Bowmasters, as awkward as it is. It's just going to be such a big problem against our deck, drawing all these cards. So we can attack with Ithilien Kingfisher here. Draw and discard, so we can... Don't want to discard any of these. Let's go ahead and ship that one. I get 3 1/1s tapped. We're going to have to go a little bit on the defensive here, I think. We do have food. So we're going to get to Rosie. That's going to create a token. We're going to put a +1/+1 counter on something. So Imrahil the Fair is down now. That's not good. These two are a pretty decent combo. But we need to find ways to draw cards, which we do have with Kingfisher, so that's good. They're probably going to attack with the 1/1 here. Yeah. So we're going to have to trade here. The Mordor Trebuchet is doing work. The Orcish Bowmasters was the thing that really cooked us there. Kingfisher as well is going to need to stay back, I think, to... It's awkward because we need it to get into... Let's go ahead and play Imrahil the Fair. Play Rosie. So we need to draw a card here. So let's go ahead and put it on Kingfisher. We get... So if we don't... I think we need the land here more so that we can eat our food to win this race. So put a 1/1 on here. It might seem a bit awkward, but this is potentially going to allow us to win the race here, overholding this, because now we can play Stalwarts to have the ring tempt us. Ithilien Kingfisher will become a 6/5 that deals 3. And then if we can... We'll also draw a second card, make a 1/1, make a token, put a 1/1 counter on this, and that's actually lethal if they don't have a blocker in the air. But they have food. So, oh no, this is a treasure. So this is lethal if they don't... So they got 1 blocker back, okay. So, we want to eat Grishnak and take 4 here. Still is potentially lethal. Because we can attack with... No, these guys aren't very good at attacking, sadly. Mordor Trebuchet is really nice against the ring as well. But Stalwarts of Osgiliath is going to become a pretty big problem. They don't have any more orcs left either. So the food is going to be a big help in outracing these 1/1 flyers. It's been an intense game. These games have gone long. So opponents playing out their lands here. We're going to draw up. Aaron Rider of Gondor is interesting, but I think we just want to slam this. Give the ring tempts us to Ithilien Kingfisher. still. This Kingfisher is just doing absolute work here. So go ahead and get in. We draw and discard. We'll discard the Captain of Umbar. We get 1/1s. Get counters. Everything's going off here. I think we may actually want to suit up. Might actually want to suit up Prince Imrahil at this point. But no, we want to make Kingfisher lethal here, so as lethal as possible. They're going to have to chump. They have to leave a chump blocker back as well next turn. Going wide. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. They've just hit a draw step, so they've got to have something good here, otherwise we can really just sort of take over the game. Stalwarts of Asgiliath as well. It's going to be a must-block creature. Ithilien Kingfish is a must-block creature. We can swing out with the rest as well. We can give Samwise +1/+1 so that... Probably actually what we should have done there is give the token to Samwise. Yeah. And attack with a 3/2 and a 2/2 to just get some additional points of damage in. So the halflings and the elves here are... Oh, human noble Imrahil, sorry. The halflings and the humans and the birds doing battle against the spirits. Bit awkward here, the spirits teaming up with the Mordor Trebuchet. These are the spirits that Aragorn goes down to get in the 3rd movie. And so they obviously fight the armies of Mordor. So they're going to get... The ring tempts them here. They're going to get another ring tempts them trigger. So for 3, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Rise of Rohirrim is good. Ring tempts them again. Both with almost max rings, which I haven't seen yet. I've seen some max rings, but not both players having it. They get in here. They get to cycle, presumably one. I think they've got a land in hand. So that's very nice for them. He does for 1. Mirkwood Bats. That is good. Squire of the King is nice, but let's go ahead and start by doing this. Get to draw. Put a +1/+1 counter. Make the 1/1. We want to make Ithilien Kingfisher lethal here. And now let's go ahead and attack. Let's see, are we dead? So they can sack the treasure. So they can hit us for 4 in the air. Plus the treasure to drain us for 1. They have to chump though this turn. I don't think we want to be swinging out this turn. So let's just go ahead and attack like this. And then next turn we're going to have... Yeah, okay, so we can discard the land. Next turn we're going to have a Squire of the King. Or just Eagles of the North. So really it's going to come down to whether opponent can top deck something here. Because they can hit us for 3, 4. But if they draw a way to give this the ring again, then they'll kill us this turn. So we just got to fade 1 draw step, 1 ring tempts us. They don't have it yet, because they can hit us for 4 this turn. But if they give this the max ability, the last one ever, your Ring Bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life, then we just lose. Otherwise, we're going to swing out with everyone except for a Squire of the King, and hopefully take down this game. Eagles of the North, actually, probably the better play, and then just swing out with everyone. Effectively does the same thing, and gives us the body on the backswing, but I don't know if there's anything in the set that can stop that other than, you know, them actually having something with the ring tempts them this turn. So hopefully we can get this win. We'll be 3-1. I'm really enjoying this set to start off with so far. This is my 3rd draft of the set. Basically uploading every single one to the channel. Pretty busy with work, so hard to be a little bit more selective and, you know, play for the trophy decks only. But I hope you're still enjoying the content. If you are, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you're enjoying about the set as well. So Ema of the Riddermark is not going to do it here. So they just get in that way. I think we just win if we swing out. They have 4 blockers. Yeah. This is just the win. We just play Eagles of the North here. Opponent sees a writing on the wall. 3-1. And I'll see you for game number 5. Alrighty, on the play here in game number 5. This hand is going to be a snap keep with a Squire of the King, Glorious Gale, and Faramir. Also got the banish from Adoris. So the dream here is obviously that we get to counter a legendary creature if they have one. Like if they play a Golem here. Arthurian Lookout is a Scry creature. I'm going to let that one resolve. I'm not too worried about that one. Go ahead and just ship the turn now. This is good, but I'd rather kill the payoffs. And also, I don't think green-black has a ton of Scry payoffs, so I'm not too worried. No blocks from us. Now we pray the opponent plays a legendary creature, but we are going to counter Nazgul. Nazgul is one of the better uncommons in the set. A 2-3 that you get to. It's basically a 2-3 when it comes in. It triggers the ring. Ring tempts you. It has Death Touch. And then every single time the ring tempts you, it gets a +1/+1 counter as well. And if you have any other Nazgul in your deck, like if you have these in multiples and you get 2 of them on the battlefield, it just goes off. Old Man of the Willow is a huge, huge problem. This thing can just basically sack a creature or a token and just pick off our creatures. That is not what we want happening. So let's go ahead and take that one down. And we'll just get in with Faramir here. Just don't want them playing something that creates like a, little 1/1 or a treasure or food token, and then they can sack it to kill our Squire of the King. Such as Many Partings. They would have got to cycle that for their land, sacrifice the food to kill a Squire of the King. Would have been very problematic for us. So now, Torment of Golem. They're going to take, I think, probably Aaron Rider of Gondor. I don't know what they take here. But I'm happy to be left with the Stewards of Osgiliath here. So we can attack pre-combat here if they want. Because we can give it +1/+1 and then take down their Lotharian Lookout. So they can't really block. And now we get to Stalwarts up here. I think we want Stalwarts to be our legend so that we have 2 legends to make this cheaper. Also get the 1/1 out of the deal here. So they got the Nazgul. I wonder if they meant to get Old Man of the Willow there. Nazgul's nice, but the ring's going to tempt them. They're going to get to start cycling. We can just attack with Stalwarts and our 1/1. No, we can't attack with the 1/1. We can attack with Stalwarts of Osgiliath here. They've probably got the bite spell, I think. To probably bite Faramir. And then we'll be in a bit of trouble if we lose Faramir, I think. Not today, though. So go ahead, and the only thing they can trade is the Nazgul for Stalwarts. And then we get a 1/1 out of it still. Don't even have to activate a Squire of the King here. I can hold it up on blockers. Oh, sorry, we get to draw a card off Faramir. That's even better. So go ahead and play 1 land here. We do have some 6-drops, so we can get that one down. There's the possibility that we want to play our 7th land if we draw like a 4-drop and a 3-drop, so better to do it then. So, wow, another Orcish Bowmasters. This card is busted. So we're going to need to activate this. They're still going to get to counter it. Yep. Make that army huge. Such a good card. Like, kill your 1/1. Kill your 1/1 and make +2/+2 power, and then stick around, ruin Captain of Umbar basically. So strong. No blocks from us here. Probably going to have a follow-up play here. Can't wait to draft some of these myself. The fact that this thing has flash as well. Claim the Precious, wow. And the Watchdogs. So this game is looking very, very over. Yeah, Captain of Umbar is just not going to do it. We will say go. They can just hold back Orcish Bowmasters, but I mean, we'll happily trade Umbar for the Watchdogs here. We're lucky the ring's not on the 4th level, because that would just be clocking us in an absurd manner. Maybe we should have countered Lothorian. No, I think it was the right play to not do it, and to counter the Nazgul was a much better result. But yeah, I just don't think we were winning this game against the combination of cards that the opponent had. Gandalf's nice. We can probably pick off this 2/1 here. If we can find a way to put a 1/1 counter on it. Then it will be good. That blocking the 4/4. But Orcish Bowmasters also just houses it in that if we choose a ring, another creature to tempt, they just get to ping something for 1, and then, wow, so draw 2. They amassed. Opponent is going off. Going to be a tough one to come back from. We need a way to deal with the 5/5 and the 1/1 and the Bowmasters. So just think it's pretty unlikely we hit something here that can get us back. Don't think Samwise is the answer. I mean, we can chump with Samwise. Sorry, we can... The problem is that we get... If we choose Samwise, I think we actually just need to go to blocks. Block here. Samwise now. This can be our ring bearer. They get to just ping Samwise. Should have actually played Samwise had it be tempted, but then they just ping it anyway before blockers, and we block with the 1/1. So it's the same result. Orcish Bowmasters, what a house this card is. I've seen some stats for it that it's like this. It's got like a 72% game in hand win rate, which is up there with Sunfall, and just clearly one of the best cards in the game. So we'll go ahead and play out Imrahil the Fair. Go ahead and cast Eagles of the North, but it's not going to be enough on this board. We're going to have to... so many partings. I mean, this is just game at this point. We'll wrap this one up and we'll go on to game number 6. Alrighty, on to game number 6 here. Squire of the King. Pretty expensive hand. Pretty awkward. We could end up not casting anything. So I think we'll take a mulligan there. This hand is definitely a keep. Imrahil, Faramir, and Pippin. Going to go ahead and actually get rid of this Glorious Gale. We're very likely to draw another one. And all of these cards are very good. So I think we want to actually run out Pippin first here to protect our other creatures. We can afford to be a little bit slower. They get to scry one. They definitely should have waited to do that because I would have attacked with Pippin. Probably very sillily, but we'll get Imrahil in. No attacks from us. And now we can protect Imrahil from anything. They've got Legolas. Legolas is a nice one, but go ahead and say it's our turn. So we can cast Faramir over the Rider. I think we actually want to be more mana efficient here and get the next legend down. Faramir also blocks well on this board. And attacks quite well as well. So we're up against the Scry deck. We're going to be going wide against them. It's our turn now. Stalwarts of Osgiliath is nice. Go ahead and attack with Faramir. They can't really block. We just get to get in for free. Play Eren Rider of Gondor. Draw a card. Make a 1/1. Play our land out. Say go. And now we can have Stalwarts. Make our 1/1 the Ring Bearer, which is going to be nice on this board. To just get an extra point of damage in. And if we can trigger it again. So now, banish from Adoris. I think we just want to have the ring tempt us here. The 1/1 is going to be... And now if they kill the 1/1, we get another 1/1 off of Faramir here. We don't even have to risk Faramir now. We can just attack with the Eren Rider. Actually... I think we just attack like this. Because Eren Rider, Gondor, if they block, we can protect it. There's also the chance that like we block, we name creature, they cast an instant, they take down Faramir. So, and this way if they do that, we get to draw a card off of Faramir. So, going wide here with our little combo. The only thing we're missing is Rosie Cotton. So they're going to put Pippin back second from the top. So they're going to delay us a little bit here. We can banish something next turn, so not too worried. Eagles of the North. We'll just go ahead and banish Legolas, I think. So no more Legolas for you. They get the +1/+1, hexproof. Bombadil Song coming up clutch there. We'll go ahead and just... Could attack with Stalwarts of Osgiliath here. I think that's going to be our best creature to use with Pippin. So, Antish Restoration, not that great at this point. Still only getting 2 lands and... Okay, so they do have a splash, so that is much better than for them. Probably splashing a removal spell here. I think could be splashing like Strider. There's a few cards they could splash. They've also got the Shire. These things look remarkably like the normal lands. So they can create a food token with it. Not really a whole lot for them. They've got Quick Beam. We want to cast Pippin. We want to... So I think we're just going to be getting in with our good friend Pippin here. Playing down another Pippin and saying go. And now we can actually just give Stalwarts of Osgiliath. So Gandalf the Grey comes down. That's what they're splashing for. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you choose one. It can deal 3 damage to each opponent. It can copy a spell. It can tap or untap. And then it can reset itself as well. So... Gandalf's a sweet one. So many cool cards in this set that I'm looking forward to playing with. That is another one of them. Now I can actually give Stalwarts of Osgiliath Wow, okay. So now we're going to play a Stalwarts. The ring will tempt us. This will be our ring bearer. Make a 1-1. Attack with our 1-1s because we're not concerned about trading them in for cards. Attack with Stalwarts. We draw and discard. We'll discard a Faramir here. Bunch of triggers. This one, protection from creatures. They can't block. Now they're just dead next turn. So this is what this blue-white deck wants to be doing. It just wants to be making a whole bunch of creatures. It has a whole lot of triggers. This would be a nightmare to keep track of in paper. They do get to put a 1-1 counter on Legolas, but we get a land. And they're just dead next turn to the good old little Pippin. They get to kill. They get to kill Pippin. So they should copy that. And they take down Faramir. Wow, so that's actually a nice little comeback from the opponent here. To take down Faramir. So mate, we should have probably kept Faramir. It's a little bit awkward. But they might still just be dead. They've got 5 blockers and we have 6 creatures. Sorry, we have 7 creatures. So they're not dead yet. These Stalwarts of Osgiliath will be very big though. And they'll have first strike. Yeah, okay, no, that's this is the line here. They have to block both of those. Everyone gets first strike. I think we attack with everyone except for Imri Hill here and just hold that one back. They get 5 blockers, so they'll have to block, block, block. Block 2 of these. One of them has to get through, so they have to block everyone. They would kill Imri Hill. So I think actually maybe we just hold back the full swing out. And just force them to double chump here. Happy to pitch the Esquire of the King. We get more 1-1s. More +1/+1 counters. They're going to double chump. Got no cards in hand. Either they can make a food token this turn, and then next turn we can hold up Glorious Gale and Gandalf. So looking like a pretty good position here. I've also got the Flyer. They have a 1 reach crit. They have Legolas for reach, but I think we'll just be swinging out this turn. That's going to do it. That's the win there, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, on to game number 7 here. Going to be a keep at this hand. A little bit awkward with the mana, but certainly got the upside. Saruman's drawing the island there is fantastic. No need to land cycle now. Going to be able to hold up Trickery. Gandalf's going to give Battle from Edoras flash as well. And Faramir is a fantastic one to draw. Opponents on red-white. They haven't got off to the most aggressive of starts, which is great. So Theoden is a 2/3, and he gives double strike when humans enter. We'll go ahead and just ship the turn here. Yeah, so 1 red-white, whenever it enters or another human enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. So we get to see that. We're going to say no to that. Get a little Orcsy onto the battlefield. No blocks from us there. And now I think we want to just play out Faramir. The reason for playing Faramir over Gandalf is Stalwarts of Osgiliath is going to give the ring tempts us. We can put it on the Orc army, make that unblockable, make a 1/1. And then as they start killing our creatures, we're going to start to get to draw cards. So the upside is just much higher, I think, on this board to have Gandalf than Gandalf. Gandalf's going to be good at some point. So Dunedin Blade to give Theoden. So now if they have a way to make a human, that's going to be pretty good. They don't have a way at the moment. So we are going to want to kill our little friend Theoden. If we draw a Glorious Gale, we'd actually probably banish Theoden here. And speaking of very useful. Let's go ahead and get in first. And then let's just pick off Theoden. And Sago. Because now we can Gale, and if they play a Legend, we get to tempt, make a 1/1. They're probably going to just suit this bad boy up. But this is a pretty slow clock. And they're sort of going all in on it as well. So we're off to the races. Do they have a follow-up creature? No. Okay. So now I'm pretty happy to just Stalwarts of Osgiliath. There is an argument to just Gandalfing. But I think getting the ring going, it's going to be pretty nice. We get to go wide. If we can tempt one more time as well, then we get to start drawing a card every turn to turbocharging the Stalwarts of Osgiliath. Opponent looks like they've got a removal spell here. They're probably going to be killing Faramir with like Smite the Deathless. Nice, they're going to let it through. Maybe they're thinking about killing Stalwarts on their turn with Smite the Deathless so they can get around this death trigger and then get in. I think next turn, if we don't kill these, we might just attack with Faramir and Stalwarts and hold back the 1/1s. Wow. So Fear 5 Foes kills everything here. This card is very, very strong. Fantastic card. We go to 5. We cannot afford to let them do that again. So I think we just need to trade Faramir here. Hold up Gandalf and Glorious Gale. So hold up both of these. We're going to trade if they attack because it enables our next Faramir. The question will be, are we Glorious Galing for, if we do get to counter a Legendary, would we get a 1/1 or would we get a card? I think a card is going to be more useful here than a 1/1. Although with Eagles of the North, maybe not. Opponent is coming in. They want to... Erebor Flamesmith wants to do battle. Faramir is... I've been very impressed by Faramir. I think Faramir is a fantastic card. Just does so much. Helps you draw cards. Helps you go wide if you've got enough ring tempts you. I think blue-white's a great home for it because there's a good balance of drawing and... a good balance of drawing cards and the ring tempts you. So now I can just drop Gandalf here in their end step. And then follow it up with a Faramir here. So now we'll go ahead and get in with Gandalf. They've got a removal spell, I think. So deal 4 to us. Oh, that's very scary. Because they are probably going to have either another one of these. We've got to counter any creature. Because if they have another one of those... Wow, that is a sweet way to get the win. So that is going to be the final loss for us. 4 and 3 with this deck. Pretty happy with that. I think, the deck came together somewhat nicely. There were a few weaker cards in it. I think potentially can get a little bit more synergy. But yeah, the opponent lost to a couple of Orcish Bowmasters, which is always going to be a tough one. Picked up a couple of losses there, but yeah, I thought this deck was good. I think probably the way it gets better is if you have some more of probably less Glorious Gales, more of these 2 and 3 drops, and then some of the less top end. I really like Stalwarts of Osgiliath. I think Saruman wasn't fantastic in this deck. Probably ideally come out. Maybe you actually want to bring in the second Hithlin Knights for the Saruman and run the deck that way. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment below and subscribe for more content in the future. It really does help the channel. Thank you, and have a great day.